What are the not-so-fun parts of that no one talks about? After doing it with a condom on, the AutoZone smell. That was oddly specific. And shockingly accurate. Having to push pets away that won't get off the bed and just sit there staring at you. My dog jumped up on the bed once and licked my partner's ass. Not great for the mood. If I remember correctly, the phenomenon is called arousal non-compliance. Fact check me. Basically, any situation in which your body isn't responding the way you feel, e.g. can't get hard, wet even though you're turned on, can't orgasm even though the is going great, etc. This goes the other way too. Getting physically aroused by things that mentally or emotionally turn you off. Getting a from a school presentation about the mitochondria. It's the powerhouse of the cell. Calf cramps. Dear God. Oh, and when she bounces a little too hard on top and you slip out and get crushed. Where's that one dude from a while ago who seemed to search for comments like this and respond with a Wikipedia link for penile fracture when you absolutely don't need him? The shame of getting tired out before you have or not being able to because you really have to fart. Or farting mid is so embarrassing. Farting mid is like burping during a meal, a compliment to the chef. Hitting the cervix is a special kind of hell. A stabby feeling that's deeply unsexy. A special kind of pain that makes me die inside. When the other person isn't into it or in the mood but doesn't just say it. The old dead fish routine that makes you not want to have with anyone for a while, including yourself. My wife calls it the starfish. The worst is when you are about to call it because it is creepy and you aren't vibing it at all and she announces she came with no reaction. Like the scene in Wedding Crashers. Brie WTF, how is that your move? I don't want to a corpse. The uncomfortable positions that you have to be like, okay stop, I gotta move. This hurts. My parent has to take breaks for queefs if we are doing it doggy style. Me thrusting fills her up with air, so if we don't have a break the air pressure hurts her from the inside. Taking a little too long to finish and then feeling embarrassed, and the more you think about it the harder it is. The cold wet spot on the bed. Keep a clean washcloth nearby or on a towel. Getting fingered by someone who did not cut their fingernails. Or someone who just cut theirs fingernails. I started filing my nails after trimming just because of this. Pro tip. Rub them on your jeans for 10-15s after a fresh cut. It takes off the sharp edges. Or you can use the file part that is on most nail clippers. Run your fingers on the inside of your mouth. If it hurts, it will hurt inside, woman. If it doesn't, you are good to go. How about TFW, your comes all the way out in the current motion, and your brain stretches the following half second into eternity before the next damaging painful blow comes if you're not perfectly lined up to go straight back in. Edit. Thank you kind stranger for the silver. This blew up while I slept. My most upvoted post has to be about one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. I will admit, however, that for as much pain as I've gone through with this, I think I can only recall one time where she exhibited any pain and I just thought it was a sympathy thing at the time. I genuinely didn't know. Think about how much this could hurt you ladies out there. For this I genuinely apologize. This should be higher up. It's not just painful for the it's also painful for the receiver. The fart noises that your bodies make when you're doing it. I'm a little concave in the chest, and sometimes when we are close an air pocket happens and it makes the best fart sound ever. The waddle to the bathroom afterwards with one hand cupped over your vag. Wait, your husband doesn't suck it out afterwards? I regret learning to read. Trying to gracefully avoid touching other bodily areas with the finger. Dealing with birth control pill side effects. Wait, what are the side effects? Planning to go on the pill soon. Would like the inside scoop if you know what I mean. To add on to the other answer, I got a much lower libido. Basically no natural lubrication. I was always super dry. And my emotions were not as controlled. Cried for the first time in years in front of somebody for calling me annoying. Which I was. BC, I was overreacting to something over the medication. Farts. I don't say anything because she's an absolute goddess and I'm lucky to be hooking up with her, but man, I spread those cheeks and feel it breeze past my fingers. My partner and I let each other know there will be a breeze soon. The joys of a long relationship. If you're doing it doggy style and he accidentally ends up in the wrong hole, it's not just a quick oopsie. If you didn't prepare for penetration beforehand, then it's like being punched in the by Wolverine. Immense pain and instant crying. Immediate mood killer. If you don't have good hygiene and don't keep your junk clean, get used to UTIs. I was unfortunately the giver of this pain to a lovely girl that did not deserve such agony. We were doing it doggy and she was definitely feeling it. Her hips must have been approaching the sound barrier. But a in the later and she's crying into the pillow and I'm checking her to make sure she isn't bleeding. Ever since then I hold on tight if I'm doing doggy. The cleanup. Someone being painfully rough unless you're into that. The smell afterwards. Sometimes the sweat makes the bed wet. Either partner being unwashed. The person on top panting and you breathing the same air. If you're like me, you sweat fairly easily. So being on top means I'm dripping off my face and usually it landing in or around my girlfriend's eyes and mouth. We've often talked about a sweatband, but I'm not sure if it would increase passion or cause laughter. I can already imagine it. Come poke me. I'm horny. I'll grab the headband and be right in. Hee hee. Hee hee. Get it? Never mind. Shower actually kinda sucks. Water is not lube. Nowhere is comfortable. Hot water runs out. Weird. I must have a good water heater. Haven't ever had an issue with the hot water lasting the full 2 minutes. Seriously, like who doesn't have at least 10 seconds of hot water? If doing then expect poop of some sort. The wet spots on the bed from the aftermath. Did with a hookup many years ago. Ended up with a pretty significant skid mark on the bed after. She was mortified. Like beside herself mortified. Apologizing up and down. I was like, look, I'm the one who put my up your ass. I expected a little collateral damage. That's the spirit. If you're going to party in poop's house, don't be upset when poop shows up. Finding a person to have with is not so fun. No, that's easy. Finding someone you want to have with is typically a lot harder. Important clarification. Also, finding someone you want to have with and keeping your morals in check. I've thought many a time about how easy it would be to fake liking, dating a girl just for I know people do it a lot but I never could. I'd rather jerk off. Also prostitutes. When in doubt, rub one out. Setting up and breaking down. Restraints and toys that need to be taken out and put away. Inflating and deflating your partner. Apparently, there's this thing where you in your pants before the appetizer even begins. How do I know? Well, this friend told me it totally happened to him, so don't judge him. How to deal with a sexual partner with low self-esteem. No matter how hard you try, you can't make them feel sexy. Then you call into question your own worth as a partner. Is it my fault? What am I doing wrong? Leading to an eventual breakup that leaves you with partial low self-esteem. Hard to bounce back from. Semen is such a to wash away. Lube is a pain in the ass to clean up. The dog never wants to move from its spot on the bed. Long hair getting in the other person's eyes. Choking on pubes. Never being able to get the pube out of the back of your throat. Semen or lube between your cheeks. Poop on toys. Accidentally forgetting which finger was in whose eating someone out or puss and getting toilet paper in your mouth. Getting rug burn on your pussy from a guy who has harsh stubble. Being able to feel when a girl has to if you finger her. Use cold water to wash off. It's protein-based, so hot water makes it stickier and harder to wash away. When you wake up next to someone you rather you hadn't had with. Or waking up to someone who clearly wishes they hadn't had with you. Seeing me without clothes on. Taking off daily pads before your partner gets to your panties. No one discussed that, but this is a pain in the ass. We share stories with my friends about the best and weirdest ways we threw our daily pads right before having The amount of pain when she's not wet. Doesn't matter if you aren't big. Unlubed holes will feel a bit coarse and painful to her. Always do the damn foreplay. Fishing out the pube from your mouth after going down on someone. The part when you realize you could have spent the time having instead watching SpongeBob and have a midlife crisis right there. When he gets up to get you a towel, and you hear his car start and he pulls out of the driveway, loudly farting out a load of in the public college dorm bathroom after a nice round of I never considered how disgusting it would actually sound. The girl in the next stall probably thought I had explosive diarrhea. I'm not even sure is actually fun anymore. I mean, I know I'm driven to want it. I know not getting it affects me, but it's a fuckload of work. Getting her in the mood means not having any big stresses or anxiety stuff hanging around, so the house, money, kids, life, taxes. Hell, the gardening has to have gone well, just to get the mindset right. Preferably a full day or getting time together, connecting, maybe relaxing a bit and watching something we like, without the kids being too loud, or anything going too wrong. And this is assuming depression or free-floating anxiety isn't kicking anyone's ass. Then, assuming the mental playing field is open. Hormones are a timing game, as is of course dealing with body image and which week of the month it is, and stomach or health issues, aches and pains or hurt their back or whatever, assuming there's not active blocking. Then all you have to do is get them excited, which is work. I mean, this is where it starts to get fun, but depending on the day, or the sensitivity or whatnot, it can be an uphill battle. Best to start with a full body rub. Work into some neck kissing. Get the body turned on and turned up before you go for anything serious, or you can get that tickles or I don't know. You're doing everything right or no words at all. Just that uncomfortable squirming that definitely says you're doing it wrong, but there's no guidance other than you know you need to do something else. And so you do the foreplay some fun, but a lot of attention and care, and patience, and you go down on her good times. Not effortless, but enjoyable, and then she's ready for and wants it and you have to think about math problems or baseball or something to be able to do it long enough to keep her happy. Like, does it feel good? Absolutely. But I'm not allowed to really experience it and lose myself in it cause she's getting worked up to maybe possibly actually and I have to hold out despite the velvet grip of glands sliding awesomeness because 10 million years of evolution is telling me to deposit little jimmies immediately before she comes to her senses and gets me out of there. So what is 42 divided by 36? Let's see. Carry the 6. Drop the 0. Remember all the decimals. Until I can't anymore. And it's too much. And yes. That's amazing. And gods. Yes. I love you. And I needed that. And wow. Hey. Yeah. No. Of course I'll hold you afterward. I was just enjoying the moment for a second. Yeah. No. Here. Compress my arm. I got you. Yeah. That was awesome. No. We absolutely should do it more often. Yeah. What? You need to pee. Yeah. Okay. Go. I'll be here. And I'm sticking to my own leg as the liquid cools and trying to find a washcloth or a shirt or something before she comes back. And then it's holding and trying not to say anything stupid to it all up. Or to help make her feel good and not have regrets. Or whatever. It's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's not lovely and there's certainly pleasure in there too. But it's a lot of work.